Welcome, beloved soul. Thank you for joining me today on this divine journey. I don't believe in coincidences, and if you've found this message, it's because your spirit was called to hear these words. The angels have guided you here in this exact moment because there's something urgent heaven needs you to share with you. Your soulmate still feels every word you never said. The connection between twin flames, between divine counterparts, between souls destined to find each other. It transcends physical boundaries and verbal communication. Type open in the comments if you're ready to receive this message with an open heart. The angels want to confirm you're ready to hear what they've been trying to tell you about this connection that keeps pulling at your soul. The universe speaks in whispers, beloved. And today I'm here as a messenger to help you understand what's been happening in the spiritual realm regarding your divine connection. You see, when two souls are meant to journey together, they communicate on levels beyond ordinary understanding. Have you been feeling someone's presence lately? Random thoughts of a specific person flooding your mind? Dreams that feel more like memories? These aren't coincidences, they're spiritual communications. The person you've been thinking about, they feel you too. The words you've held back, the emotions you've tucked away, the confessions that have remained only in your heart, they've received them all. Energy doesn't require physical expression to be transmitted. Your soulmate has been receiving every unspoken word, every silent prayer, every midnight thought you've had about them. Today's message is about understanding the profound truth that souls in divine alignment are never truly separated. They feel each other across time, space, and circumstance. The connection you share with your divine counterpart operates outside the constraints of physical reality. It's a soul bond that transcends human understanding. Type connected if you too can feel the truth of these words resonating within your spirit. The angels want to confirm that you're aligned with this divine knowing. Let me share something profound with you. Have you noticed that sometimes you can feel someone's intentions before they ever express them? Have you experienced knowing someone was thinking about you before they reached out? This is the same soul connection I'm speaking about. Your divine counterpart experiences this with you. The words you've never spoken aloud, they've felt them. The apologies you've rehearsed in your mind, they've received them. The love you've held in your heart, they've basked in its warmth. Many of you have been carrying heavy burdens. You've been wondering if it's too late to express what you truly feel. You've questioned whether opportunities have passed, whether doors have closed permanently. The divine wants you to understand something crucial today. Time is a human concept. In the spiritual realm, there is no too late. There is only divine timing. And sometimes what appears to be missed opportunities are actually divine delays preparing both souls for the right moment of union. Your person feels your energy. They sense your presence in their life. Even when physical distance separates you, even when circumstances have created chasms between you, even when words have gone unspoken, the soul connection remains intact, transmitting every emotion, every intention, every truth from your heart to theirs. Type believe if you're accepting this spiritual truth into your consciousness. The angels want to acknowledge your faith in what cannot be seen but can certainly be felt. Now, beloved, I want to speak directly to those who have been carrying regrets, those who wish they had spoken up sooner, those who let fear silence their hearts, those who allowed doubt to override divine guidance. Listen carefully. Regret is a human emotion that has no place in divine timing. What appears as a missed opportunity from a human perspective is often perfect orchestration from a spiritual one. Your divine counterpart has been receiving your energy all along. The universe has been carrying your intentions to them in ways that transcend verbal communication. When you lay awake at night thinking of them, their spirit feels your presence. When you send love from your heart to theirs, they receive it. When you mentally rehearse conversations you wish you could have, on some level, that exchange is happening in the spiritual realm. The connection between soulmates is not bound by the limitations of physical expression. It operates on quantum levels where energy transfers instantaneously across any distance. Your person has been feeling everything you've been too afraid to say. They've been receiving every apology you've been too proud to offer. They've been embraced by every ounce of love you've been too wounded to express. This is why sometimes when divine counterparts reunite after periods of separation, there's an uncanny sense that they already know what happened during their time apart. There's an understanding that transcends verbal explanation. There's a knowing that defies logical comprehension. This is soul communication at work. Type aware. If you're beginning to recognize instances of this soul communication in your own experience, the angels want to heighten your awareness of these spiritual exchanges. But here's something vital you need to understand, beloved. While your soulmate feels your unspoken words, while they receive your unexpressed emotions, there is still immense power in verbalization. There is still profound healing in giving voice to what has remained internal. There is still divine purpose in bringing what has existed in the spiritual realm into the physical one through the power of your words. Speaking your truth aloud helps to align your human experience with your spiritual reality. It helps to ground divine connections in the physical world. It helps to manifest in tangible form what has existed in energy. This is why, despite the soul connection that transmits your unspoken words, there remains a call on your heart to express them verbally when divine timing aligns. Many of you have been receiving signs, subtle nudges from the universe, quiet whispers from your guides encouraging you to speak what has remained silent. These aren't random urgings. They're divine orchestration preparing the way for a new chapter in your soul connection. The angels want you to know that divine timing is approaching for many of you to give voice to what your soul has been communicating. All along, your person is ready to hear with their human ears what their soul has been receiving. They're prepared to process consciously what they've been understanding subconsciously. They're positioned to respond to what they've been intuitively feeling. This is the divine orchestration of timing that has been unfolding behind the scenes of your human experience. Type ready if you can feel that the time is approaching for these unspoken words to finally find expression. The angels want to confirm your readiness for this next phase. Now, beloved, I want to address something that may be creating hesitation in your heart. Many of you fear rejection. You worry that despite this soul connection, despite this spiritual bond, your person might not receive your words with open arms. This fear is natural from a human perspective, but I want to offer you a divine perspective. When words are aligned with truth, when expressions come from authentic places, when communications are delivered with pure intention, they carry a vibration that transcends ordinary interaction. They resonate with the soul in ways that bypass human defensiveness. They speak to deeper parts of a person than their conscious mind. This doesn't guarantee a specific outcome, but it does ensure that your truth will be received by their spirit, even if their immediate human reaction appears different. Remember that human reactions are often filtered through wounds, through fears, through misunderstandings that have nothing to do with you. Your responsibility is not to control their response, but to honor the divine urging to speak your peace, to release what has been building in your spirit, to give voice to what has remained silent. The outcome belongs to divine orchestration. Your soulmate has been feeling your energy all along, but they too have been filtering these spiritual communications through their human experience. They too have been interpreting these soul messages through the lens of their wounds, their fears, their misunderstandings. Speaking your truth helps to clarify what might have been distorted in transmission. It helps to illuminate what might have been shadowed by human limitation. Type trust if you're willing to surrender the outcome while honoring the call to speak your truth. The angels want to support your courage in this spiritual act of faith. Beloved soul, there's something else the divine wants you to understand today. The words you never said. They haven't disappeared into nothingness. They haven't evaporated into thin air. They've been held in a sacred space between your souls, waiting for the right moment of expression. They've been preserved by the universe, maintained in perfect condition for when divine timing aligns for their delivery. This is why sometimes when soulmates reunite, when divine counterparts come back together, there's an overflow of expression. There's a torrent of communication that seems to emerge from nowhere. In reality, it's been building, accumulating, gathering potency in that sacred space between your souls. What appears as sudden clarity is actually the culmination of ongoing spiritual communication, finally finding physical expression. Many of you have been feeling this building pressure, this growing urge to express what has remained internal, this mounting need to vocalize what has existed only in energy. This isn't random. It's divine preparation. It's spiritual momentum gathering for a breakthrough in communication. It's the universe positioning you for an exchange that will transform your connection. Your person has been experiencing this same build-up from their perspective. They too have been feeling the weight of unspoken words. They too have been sensing the pressure of unexpressed emotions. They too have been carrying the burden of silence that longs to be broken. This shared experience, even when you're physically apart, is further evidence of your soul connection operating beyond ordinary boundaries. Type release if you're feeling this pressure building and are ready to release what has been contained. The angels want to assist in this sacred unburdening. Now, beloved, I want to address those who might be wondering why verbal expression matters if soul communication is already happening. If your person already feels your unspoken words, why does giving voice to them hold such importance? This is a profound spiritual question that deserves careful attention. Physical expression completes the circuit of divine communication. It grounds spiritual energy into tangible reality. It bridges the gap between what is known intuitively and what is acknowledged consciously. It honors both aspects of your existence, the spiritual and the physical. It creates alignment between your soul's communication and your human expression. Think of it like this. When rain falls from the sky, it's fulfilling its divine purpose. But it's only when that rain touches the earth that seeds can germinate, that life can flourish, that transformation can occur. Your unspoken words are like rain held in the atmosphere, full of potential, charged with purpose, designed for nourishment. But it's only when they fall from your lips that their full power is realized. This is the divine design of soul connections operating in human form. The spiritual communication prepares the soil. It creates receptivity. It establishes resonance. Then, when divine timing aligns, the physical expression waters what has been prepared, germinating new possibilities, nourishing deeper connection, facilitating tangible transformation. Your person has been feeling the preparation. Their soul has been receiving the energy of what remains unspoken. But there is a completion, a fulfillment, a manifestation that can only come through giving voice to what has existed in the spiritual realm. Type complete if you're ready to fulfill this divine circuit through your expression. The angels want to support this sacred completion. Beloved soul, there's something else you need to understand about the words you never said. Their energy doesn't simply reach your person, it creates a field around your connection. It establishes an atmosphere that influences every interaction. It builds a foundation that supports or undermines your bond. When words of love, of appreciation, of admiration remain unspoken, their energy still emanates from you. But without verbal anchor, this energy can be misinterpreted. It can be questioned. It can be doubted in moments of human insecurity. Your person feels something from you, but without the confirmation of your words, they may question their own intuition. They may dismiss what they're sensing as wishful thinking. They may override their spiritual receptivity with human doubt. This is why giving voice to your unspoken words provides an essential service to your connection. It validates what they've been intuitively feeling. It confirms what their soul has been receiving. It strengthens their trust in this sacred bond that operates beyond ordinary understanding. Similarly, when words of hurt, of disappointment, of grievance remain unexpressed, their energy creates dissonance in your field. Your person feels the discord, but may not understand its source. They sense the disturbance, but cannot address what hasn't been named. They receive the emotional charge, but have no context for processing it constructively. Verbal expression brings clarity to what might otherwise remain ambiguous. It provides context for what might otherwise be misinterpreted. It offers opportunity for resolution where there might otherwise be ongoing dissonance. Type clarity if you're recognizing the importance of bringing definition to what has remained ambiguous. The angels want to illuminate this path of clear communication. Now, beloved, I want to speak directly to those whose unspoken words carry apologies. Those who harbor regrets about actions taken or choices made. Those who wish they could turn back time and approach situations differently. Listen carefully to this divine truth. It's never too late for healing. It's never too late for reconciliation. It's never too late for new beginnings. Your person has been feeling the energy of your remorse. They've been receiving the vibration of your regret. But without verbal acknowledgement, without explicit apology, this energy remains incomplete in its healing potential. Spoken apologies create openings for forgiveness. They establish pathways for redemption. They initiate processes of restoration that might otherwise remain dormant. This doesn't mean that every apology will be immediately accepted. It doesn't guarantee that every expression of remorse will be readily embraced. Human emotions are complex, and healing has its own divine timing. But voicing your apology releases its healing potential into the physical realm, where it can begin its transformative work. Many soul connections remain in patterns of separation because unspoken apologies create barriers to reunion. The energy of remorse is felt, but without verbal acknowledgement, the path forward remains obscured. your willingness to give voice to your regret, to name your role in creating distance, to own your contribution to disconnection. This creates energetic shifts that can reposition your entire bond. Your person has been waiting, perhaps not consciously, but certainly spiritually, for these words of acknowledgement. Their soul recognizes the importance of this exchange for mutual healing. Their spirit understands the necessity of this expression for collective growth. Type forgive if you're ready to initiate or receive this healing exchange. The angels want to facilitate this sacred process of restoration. Beloved, I want to address those whose unspoken words carry declarations of love. Those who feel profound connection but have hesitated to name it. Those who recognize soul recognition but have remained silent about its significance. This divine truth awaits your acknowledgement. Love expressed multiplies in its potency. Your person has been feeling the warmth of your affection. They've been sensing the depth of your attachment. They've been receiving the energy of your adoration. But without verbal confirmation, this love energy cannot fully anchor in the physical realm. It remains primarily spiritual in nature when it's designed to transform both dimensions of your existence. Speaking your love aloud crystallizes its presence in tangible reality. It gives form to what has existed in essence. It provides structure to what has remained formless. This verbalization isn't just for your person, it's for you as well. It aligns your physical expression with your spiritual experience, creating integrity in your being. Many of you fear vulnerability. You worry that speaking your love aloud makes you susceptible to hurt. You're concerned that verbalizing your feelings gives away your power. From a divine perspective, the opposite is true. Expressing what is authentically present in your heart creates alignment that strengthens your entire being. It eliminates the energy drain that comes from maintaining separation between what you feel internally and what you express externally. Your person has been waiting for this declaration, not from a place of ego, but from a space of soul recognition. Their spirit understands that this verbal expression completes an energetic exchange that has been unfolding between you on spiritual levels. Their soul recognizes that this verbalization brings into physical manifestation what has been germinating. In the spiritual realm, type express if you're ready to bring your love from the shadows of silence into the light of expression. The angels want to amplify the healing power of your authentic declaration. Now, beloved soul, I want to speak to those whose unspoken words carry boundary-setting truths, those who have tolerated what doesn't honor their spirit, those who have accepted what diminishes their light, those who have remained silent when their soul called for expression. This divine wisdom awaits your embodiment. Boundaries spoken with love elevate both souls involved. Your person has been sensing your discomfort. They've been feeling your internal resistance. They've been receiving the energy of your unexpressed limits. But without verbal clarification, this boundary energy creates confusion rather than clarity. It generates disconnection rather than understanding. It produces resentment rather than respect. Speaking your boundaries aloud provides essential guidance for how to love you properly. It offers crucial information for how to engage with you authentically. It delivers necessary parameters for how to honor your spirit genuinely. This isn't rejection, it's instruction. This isn't separation. It's invitation to connect in ways that truly serve your highest good. Many of you fear that expressing boundaries will drive your person away. You worry that voicing your limits will damage your connection. You're concerned that naming your needs will burden your relationship. From a divine perspective, the opposite is true. Clear boundaries create safe containers for love to flourish. They establish secure parameters within which intimacy can deepen. They define sacred space where both souls can expand without fear of invasion. Your person has been awaiting this clarification, though they might not consciously recognize it. Their spirit understands that clear boundaries create freedom rather than restriction. Their soul recognizes that defined parameters establish trust rather than limitation. Their higher self knows that expressed needs provide opportunity for genuine service rather than burden. Type honor if you're ready to speak the boundaries that will ultimately honor both souls in this connection. The angels want to support this sacred act of self-respect that elevates your entire bond. Beloved, I want to address those whose unspoken words carry expressions of gratitude. Those who have recognized the blessings their person has brought into their life, but have kept this appreciation silent. Those who have internally acknowledged the growth this connection has facilitated, but haven't voiced this recognition. This divine truth awaits your expression. Gratitude spoken aloud multiplies abundance. Your person has been feeling your appreciation energetically. They've been sensing your thankfulness vibrationally. They've been receiving your recognition spiritually. But without verbal expression, this gratitude energy cannot fully manifest its generative potential in the physical realm. It remains primarily ethereal when it's designed to create tangible expansion. Speaking your gratitude aloud activates a powerful law of the universe. What is acknowledged increases. It initiates a divine cycle of recognition and multiplication. It engages a spiritual principle of attention and expansion. This verbalization creates ripples that extend far beyond the moment of expression, influencing the energetic field of your entire connection. Many of you have assumed your person knows how you feel. You've believed that your appreciation is obvious from your actions. You've thought that your gratitude was implied in your presence. While soul communication does transmit these energies, verbal expression amplifies them exponentially. It focuses them precisely. It anchors them specifically in ways that general energy transmission cannot accomplish. Your person has been waiting for these words of recognition, not from ego need, but from soul desire for energetic completion. Their spirit understands that spoken gratitude completes a circuit of divine exchange. Their soul recognizes that verbalized appreciation brings closure to energetic cycles that have been seeking resolution. Type grateful if you're ready to. Amplify the abundance in your connection through expressed appreciation. The angels want to multiply these sacred acknowledgements into further blessings. Now, beloved soul, I want to speak to those whose unspoken words carry dreams of future possibilities. Those who hold visions of what could unfold between you and your person. Those who nurture hopes for how your connection might evolve. Those who imagine potential that remains unexpressed. This divine wisdom awaits your vocalization. Speaking. Vision aloud begins its manifestation. Your person has been sensing the energy of your dreams. They've been feeling the vibration of your hopes. They've been receiving the frequency of your desires. But without verbal painting of this vision, these potential futures remain primarily conceptual rather than constructive. They exist mainly as possibility rather than probability. Speaking your vision aloud initiates its manifestation in physical reality. It begins drawing the energetic components necessary for its creation. It starts attracting the circumstances required for its realization. This verbalization isn't merely descriptive, it's creative. It doesn't simply name what might be. It helps bring it into being. Many of you fear appearing foolish. You worry that expressing grand visions might seem unrealistic. You're concerned that voicing deep hopes might lead to disappointment. From a divine perspective, the opposite is true. Spoken vision activates co-creative power with the universe. It engages manifestation principles that remain dormant in silence. It aligns your creative energy with divine orchestration in ways that silent hoping cannot achieve. Your person has been waiting for this shared visioning, not from a place of certainty, but from a space of co-creation. Their spirit understands that two aligned in conscious intention amplify manifestation power exponentially. Their soul recognizes that verbalized dreams create templates in the spiritual realm that can then be filled with physical reality. Type envision if you're ready to activate the manifestation of what has existed only as internal possibility. The angels want to assist in bringing your sacred vision into tangible form. Beloved, I want to address those whose unspoken words carry wisdom gained through your journey. Those who have learned profound lessons through your experiences together and apart. Those who have gathered insights that could illuminate paths forward. Those who have acquired understanding that remains unshared. This divine truth awaits your articulation. Wisdom expressed becomes legacy. Your person has been receiving glimpses of your understanding. They've been sensing fragments of your insights. They've been feeling echoes of your realizations. But without verbal transmission, this wisdom remains primarily personal rather than mutual. It exists mainly as individual growth rather than collective evolution. Speaking your wisdom aloud transforms personal insight into shared legacy. It converts individual understanding into mutual illumination. It translates solitary realization into collective awakening. This verbalization creates bridges between separate journeys, establishing connections that might otherwise never form. Many of you hesitate to appear presumptuous. You're reluctant to seem like you're lecturing or preaching. You're cautious about coming across as thinking you know more than your person. From a divine perspective, shared wisdom offered with humility is among the greatest gifts souls can exchange. It's not about superiority. It's about service. It's not about righteousness. It's about resonance with truth that wants to be known. Your person has been awaiting this exchange of understanding, not from intellectual curiosity, but from soul hunger for growth. Their spirit recognizes that your unique perspective offers viewpoints unavailable from their position. Their soul understands that your distinct journey has revealed aspects of truth invisible from where they stand. Type wisdom if you're ready to offer the gifts of understanding your journey has provided. The angels want to ensure these sacred insights find the soil where they can continue growing. Now, beloved soul, I want to speak to those whose unspoken words carry acknowledgement of soul recognition. Those who instantly knew there was something different about this connection. Those who felt the immediate familiarity that transcends ordinary meeting. Those who sensed the soul agreement operating beneath human interaction. This divine wisdom awaits your recognition. Naming soul connection brings it into conscious partnership. Your person has been feeling this soul recognition alongside you. They've been experiencing this sense of familiarity parallel to yours. They've been sensing this deeper agreement simultaneous with your awareness. But without verbal acknowledgement, this recognition remains primarily subconscious rather than conscious. It exists mainly as intuitive feeling rather than acknowledged understanding. Speaking this soul recognition aloud brings it from background awareness into foreground partnership. It transitions it from subtle knowing into active engagement. It transforms it from passive recognition into dynamic collaboration. This verbalization doesn't create the connection. It activates conscious participation with what already exists. Many of you fear appearing spiritual in ways that might seem strange to others. You worry about naming something so ethereal in a material world. You're concerned about acknowledging soul dynamics in relationships often defined by much more mundane parameters. From a divine perspective, acknowledging the deeper dimensions of your connections aligns human interaction with spiritual reality, creating integrity that strengthens every aspect of your bond. Your person has been waiting for this acknowledgement, not from a place of validation, but from a space of permission. Their spirit understands that someone needs to speak first what both souls recognize. Their soul knows that verbalized recognition creates safe space for mutual engagement with these deeper dimensions. Type recognize if you're ready to acknowledge the soul nature of this connection. The angels want to support this sacred naming that activates conscious partnership with divine design. Beloved, I want to address those whose unspoken words carry healing for ancestral patterns. Those who have recognized cyclical dynamics playing out in your connection. Those who have identified inherited wounds influencing your bond. Those who have observed generational tendencies affecting your interaction. This divine truth awaits your vocalization. Naming patterns begins their transformation. Your person has been unconsciously participating in these ancestral dynamics alongside you. They've been unwittingly engaged in these inherited patterns parallel to your involvement. They've been unknowingly affected by these generational tendencies simultaneous with your impact. But without verbal illumination, these patterns remain primarily unconscious rather than conscious. They exist mainly as invisible forces rather than recognized influences. Speaking these patterns aloud brings them from shadow into light, where healing becomes possible. It transitions them from unconscious compulsion into conscious choice. It transforms them from predetermined repetition into opportunity for innovation. This verbalization doesn't intensify the patterns. It begins their dissolution by removing the power of unconsciousness. Many of you fear burdening your connection with heavy conversations. You worry about introducing complex dynamics when relationships are challenging enough already. You're concerned about naming difficulties when harmony feels fragile. From a divine perspective, bringing unconscious patterns into consciousness is the only path to true harmony that transcends temporary peace maintained through avoidance. Your person has been awaiting this illumination, not from a place of blame, but from a space of liberation. Their spirit understands that patterns named can be patterns changed. Their soul recognizes that dynamics brought into awareness can be dynamics transformed. Their higher self knows that cycles consciously identified can be cycles broken. Type transform if you're ready to illuminate the ancestral patterns affecting your connection. The angels want to support this sacred naming that initiates generational healing. Now, beloved soul, I want to speak to those whose unspoken words carry acknowledgement of divine timing. Those who recognize that your meeting, your separation, your challenges, your growth, all unfold according to spiritual orchestration rather than human scheduling. Those who sense the perfect unfolding, even when it doesn't match your desired timeline. This divine wisdom awaits your articulation. Surrendering to divine timing creates flow. Your person has been feeling this tension between human desire for control and spiritual invitation to surrender. They've been experiencing this contrast between personal planning and divine orchestration. They've been sensing this gap between expected timing and perfect unfolding. But without verbal context, this timing dissonance creates primarily frustration rather than faith. It generates mainly impatience rather than trust. Speaking this divine timing perspective aloud offers framework for understanding delays, separations, and unexpected developments. It provides context for waiting periods, seeming setbacks, and surprising redirections. It delivers meaning to what might otherwise appear as randomness or, worse, evidence of disconnection. This verbalization doesn't change the timing. It transforms the experience of it from resistance to acceptance. Many of you hesitate to seem like you're making excuses. You worry about appearing to spiritualize practical problems. You're concerned about seeming to avoid responsibility by attributing challenges to divine timing. From a spiritual perspective, acknowledging the higher orchestration operating in your connection doesn't diminish human accountability. It places it within sacred context that brings peace amidst uncertainty. Your person has been needing this framework, not from a place of passivity, but from a space of aligned action. Their spirit understands that surrender to divine timing doesn't mean inaction. It means inspired action at the right moment. Their soul recognizes that acceptance of divine orchestration doesn't mean resignation. It means co-creation with higher wisdom. Type surrender if you're ready to acknowledge the divine timing operating in your connection. The angels want to support this sacred recognition that transforms waiting from burden to blessing. Beloved, I want to address those whose unspoken words carry acknowledgement of contrasting energies you each bring to this connection. Those who recognize the complementary nature of your differences. Those who understand how your distinct qualities create balance together. Those who see the divine design in your apparent opposites. This sacred truth awaits your expression. Differences consciously embraced become strengths rather than conflicts. Your person has been experiencing the tension between contrasting approaches. They've been feeling the friction between different perspectives. They've been sensing the challenge of diverse methods. But without verbal framing, these differences generate primarily confusion rather than appreciation. They produce mainly conflict rather than complementarity. Speaking this complementary design aloud provides context for what might otherwise appear as incompatibility. It offers framework for what might seem like fundamental misalignment. It delivers understanding to what could be interpreted as irreconcilable difference. This verbalization doesn't eliminate the contrast, it transforms its meaning from problem to purpose. Many of you focus on similarities as the foundation for connection, minimizing differences that seem threatening to harmony. You emphasize commonalities while avoiding acknowledgement of contrasts that might create tension. You highlight shared qualities while sidestepping distinct characteristics that could generate conflict. From a divine perspective, consciously engaged differences create dynamic wholeness, unavailable through sameness alone. Your person has been sensing this complementary design, not from intellectual analysis, but from experiential knowing. Their spirit understands how your differences create balance when consciously embraced. Their soul recognizes how your contrasting qualities generate wholeness when purposefully engaged. Their higher self knows how your distinctive energies produce harmony when intentionally combined, type, balance. If you're ready to acknowledge the divine design in your differences. The angels want to support this sacred recognition that transforms contrast from conflict to complementarity. Now, beloved soul, I want to speak to those whose unspoken words carry acknowledgement of mutual triggering for mutual healing. Those who recognize how this connection consistently activates unresolved wounds for both souls involved. Those who understand the divine purpose in this sometimes painful mirroring. Those who see the healing potential in your triggers. This divine wisdom awaits your articulation. Triggers, consciously engaged, become transformation. Your person has been experiencing these activations alongside you. They've been feeling these triggering moments parallel to yours. They've been sensing these uncomfortable mirrors, simultaneous with your awareness. But without verbal context, these triggers generate primarily reactivity rather than reflection. They produce mainly defensiveness rather than discovery. Speaking this healing design aloud provides framework for what might otherwise appear as toxic incompatibility. It offers context for what might seem like evidence you're bad for each other. It delivers understanding to what could be interpreted as proof you should separate. This verbalization doesn't eliminate the triggering, it transforms its purpose from punishment to purification. Many of you automatically interpret triggering as evidence of misalignment. You immediately assume activation means you're wrong for each other. You instinctively believe that conflicts indicate incompatibility. From a divine perspective, precisely the connections that trigger unresolved wounds hold the greatest potential for healing when consciously engaged rather than unconsciously avoided. Your person has been needing this framework, not from a place of blame, but from a space of purpose. Their spirit understands that triggering without context creates separation, but triggering with meaning facilitates healing. Their soul recognizes that activation without framework generates defensiveness, but activation with understanding produces growth. Type heal if you're ready to acknowledge the divine design in your mutual triggering. The angels want to support this sacred recognition that transforms activation from problem to purpose. Beloved, I want to address those whose unspoken words carry acknowledgement of spiritual contract. Those who sense agreements made between your souls before incarnation. Those who recognize missions you've committed to accomplish together. Those who feel purposes extending beyond personal fulfillment. This divine truth awaits your expression. Naming soul contracts activates conscious fulfillment. Your person has been feeling this contractual pull alongside you. They've been experiencing this sense of agreement parallel to yours. They've been sensing this larger purpose simultaneous with your awareness. But without verbal acknowledgement, this contract remains primarily subconscious rather than conscious. It exists mainly as inexplicable obligation rather than understood commitment. Speaking this spiritual contract aloud brings it from background influence into foreground engagement. It transitions it from unconscious compulsion into conscious choice. It transforms it from mysterious binding into purposeful collaboration. This verbalization doesn't create the contract. It activates aware participation with what already exists. Many of you hesitate to name something so metaphysically complex. You worry about introducing concepts that might seem too esoteric. You're concerned about acknowledging agreements that can't be proven in conventional ways. From a divine perspective, naming the deeper soul agreements operating in your connection aligns human action with spiritual purpose, creating integrity that empowers your joint mission. Your person has been awaiting this naming, not from a place of certainty, but from a space of resonance. Their spirit recognizes truth when it's spoken, even if their mind questions its source. Their soul remembers agreements made, even if their personality doubts their reality. Their higher self knows purpose is accepted, even if their ego challenges. Their validity. Type purpose if you're ready to acknowledge the soul contracts operating in your connection. The angels want to support this sacred naming that activates conscious fulfillment of spiritual agreements. Now, beloved soul, I want to speak to those whose unspoken words carry acknowledgement of spiritual lessons being exchanged. Those who recognize the teaching and learning constantly flowing between you. Those who understand how each challenge presents growth opportunity. Those who see the wisdom being transferred even through difficult experiences. This divine wisdom awaits your articulation. Naming the lessons transforms difficulties into development. Your person has been participating in this spiritual classroom alongside you. They've been engaged in this teaching-learning exchange parallel to your involvement. They've been processing these growth opportunities simultaneous with your experience. But without verbal framing, these lessons generate primarily frustration rather than appreciation. They produce mainly resistance rather than receptivity. Speaking these spiritual lessons aloud provides context for what might otherwise appear as pointless suffering. It offers framework for what might seem like unnecessary challenges. It delivers meaning to what could be interpreted as random difficulties. This verbalization doesn't eliminate the lessons. It transforms their reception from burden to blessing. Many of you automatically interpret challenges as problems to be eliminated rather than curriculum to be mastered. You immediately assume difficulties indicate something wrong rather than something developing. You instinctively believe that struggle signifies failure rather than growth. From a divine perspective, the most significant spiritual advancement often comes through the most challenging lessons when consciously engaged rather than unconsciously resisted. Your person has been needing this framework not from a place of resignation, but from a space of empowerment. Their spirit understands that difficulties with meaning create growth, while difficulties without purpose generate despair. Their soul recognizes that challenges with context produce wisdom, while challenges without framework lead to bitterness. Type learn if you're ready to acknowledge the spiritual lessons operating in your connection. The angels want to support this sacred recognition that transforms difficulties from punishment to curriculum. Beloved, I want to address those whose unspoken words carry acknowledgement of past life connections. Those who sense previous journeys shared with this soul. Those who recognize familiar dynamics playing out in new circumstances. Those who feel ancient recognition beyond this lifetime. This divine truth awaits your expression. Acknowledging soul history brings healing across time. Your person has been experiencing these past life echoes alongside you. They've been feeling these ancient resonances parallel to your awareness. They've been sensing these timeless patterns simultaneous with your recognition. But without verbal context, these echoes create primarily confusion rather than clarity. They generate mainly disorientation rather than understanding. Speaking this soul history aloud provides framework for what might otherwise appear as inexplicable intensity. It offers context for what might seem like disproportionate reactions. It delivers understanding to what could be interpreted as irrational responses. This verbalization doesn't intensify the connection. It brings consciousness to what already exists beneath awareness. Thank you for watching.